we were talking about Radio Ralph at some point and his drunken escapades in San Antonio, like running through the street and losing his shoe, busting his knee on a fire hydrant, just going wild, running through the city.
Well, part of that's Radio Ralph, part of that's me, but we made him do a power hour with us where you drink a shot of beer every minute on the hour. We ended up going the full hour. He got drunk, which was hilarious because he really was he was losing cognitive abilities. And you can hear it on the Least Dangerous podcast live at Horrific Film Fest. And then afterwards, I told him he should write a review of being hungover.
He did.
Because he got hungover and he wrote it. He really did.
So from a beer and a shot, he wrote this article.
Yes, and that's the most important part. This was from one beer and one shot.
He didn't even finish the song. I want one beer, one whiskey, and one shot or whatever.
One bourbon, one scotch, and one beer.
Yeah, that guy. He had 3 drinks.
Yeah, Ralph had one beer and one shot.
Again, not picking Ralph. We love you. So I'll just start from the beginning. We'll go through the whole thing.
Yeah, you got to read it, dude. This is Ralph's review of being. What did he call it?
Okay, I'll give it the whole thing. Let's see. I got to find a good bed. I don't have a great bed. That's what we're running with.
That'll work.
Ralph's Reviews, The Power Hour Hangover, published September 4th, 2015. An episode of 89 of the Least Dangerous podcast, which took place in San Antonio at the Horrific Film Fest, the exploded crew participated in a power hour in which I, Radio Ralph, get a buzz off only one beer. Yes, I understand that public opinion would say it's pretty lame. In my defense, alcohol is not something I normally am accustomed to.
That's true. That's true.
And then that's paragraph 1. We come down to the photo I put in. For those like me who had no prior knowledge or experience to the power hour, I will briefly give an explanation. A power hour. I don't even know why we set it up. He's going to set it up for us. Yeah. A power hour, I am told, is when you take a shot of beer every minute for an hour. Now that's out of the that's out of the way, I will begin. As I entered Horrific Film Fest, I had a suspicion that this was not going to be a normal podcast. In fact, this would be epic. The show was pretty intense. The warriors and heroes stopped by to talk with our show, which took the show to an elite level.
He's so right. It was going to be fucking epic. Because I called him, I said, what kind of beer you want, Radio Ralph? And he said, I want a regular. So I got him Bud Light. I didn't know what the fuck a regular beer was.
I was set up with 2, count them, 2 beers. Only managed to finish one, which I struggled to do towards the end. I started the show off fairly well with beer. Of course, I began sipping. But with continued pressure from the rest of the crew, I began attempting to down the beer to finish it and bring the show to a merciful end. So there you go. I think there was some flag words there.
Was there some trigger warnings?
Trigger words. Like as I was pressured to finish my beer. I'm sorry, Ralph. I know you listen, buddy. I love you. I'm sorry. To bring it to a merciful end. The first half of drinking the beer was enjoyable and sort of fun, but by the second half of the beer, it became increasingly tough to keep it down and finish it. It sounds weak, and it is. However, I have only had alcohol twice, so hopefully I will get a pass.
I would say, by the way, I want to give him this. I would say Radio Ralph does get a pass, and not only that, I know that he did not, the first half of the beer, he was having a good time, second half, not as much. But I give the dude 5 gold stars for fucking finishing the beer.
Oh, yeah. High fives, dude. That was a kegger right there, man. You just pulled your first kegger as far as I see it.
Yeah. All right, so continue.
So, as I inch closer to my last sip of beer, I was feeling a little tipsy and failed at an impromptu sobriety test given by Serial and JC, the hosts. I'm glad he called us out like that, the hosts. I think I would have been good after the show, but I ran into trouble when we had a celebratory after-show shot of liquor, which I later learned for the first time drinkers, or just drinkers in general, is a big mistake. The popular saying I've been told is, beer before liquor, never been sicker. I would have agreed to this statement at least. Well, wait. I would have to agree that this statement is true, at least for me anyways. Holy shit, that bed is fucking like 5 minutes.
It never stops.
It was apparent to me that as I exited the show, I had a hangover. So instantly.
he instantly knew. It was like a chick that when she's like, oh, I'm pregnant now. I know I'm pregnant. He was like, I am hungover.
Yeah, like 20 minutes after the fact. Again, Ralph, we love you. We're just having fun. I downed my beer and took a shot of liquor. Ended up going to a burger place. Got some food in me. Fair to say I did not sober up by then. By the end of the night, I hit bed pretty hard and slept hard. The next day, I was struggling not to barf. I didn't.
I'm going to do it.
I
want to do a
didn't.
timeout though. Hold on.
But it was close.
He did right after he what he did after he left the bar. So exactly what I did when I left the bar.
Well, no, not exactly. Just tell off. We went and had Mexican food after the bar, and then you stopped at Whataburger after the bar as well.
Oh, wait, you're right. I went and had Mexican food, then I did puke. Ralph might have thought he was going to puke. I puked on the Riverwalk, like walking on the Riverwalk.
I'm pretty sure it's a crime.
And then I had Whataburger. So, Ralph, if you didn't throw up, you're doing 100% better than me. 100%.
By the end of the night, I hit the bed pretty hard and slept hard. The next day, I was struggling not to barf. I didn't, but it was close. About 24 hours of feeling noxious and just horrible, I was back to feeling, I forgot after. After about 24 hours, he was back to feeling okay. All in all, it was an experience to remember. No regrets. Well, I regretted the shot of liquor after the beer, but for my first hangover, and hopefully my last, it wasn't so bad. At least my last hangover was done on purpose anyway. No regrets. And then there's a nice little picture of beer for liquor, never sicker. And we follow up with a PS. My last bit of advice. Everyone has different levels of tolerance for alcohol. Know your limit. Most importantly, do not drink liquor after beer if you think you cannot handle it. If you do liquor after beer, you are in for a rough ride. But hey, if that's your thing, then by all means, drink away. I hear liquor before beer is okay, but not after. Definitely not after. The one thing I've told Radio Ralph to his face, and I'll say it again, he is the most indecisive motherfucker. Even after hangovers suck for a 10-minute read, it's like hangovers are kind of okay if that's your thing, but it's okay. Do you want a hug? Hangovers are nice. But Ralph, again, I want to reiterate, we love you, man. Keep writing those great articles. And there's more to find written by Ralph. He's a published author. You should read them at exploded.com.